knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. The thoughts of wise men that reject the word of the Lord are vain. Okay, go ahead and carry on with what you thought. I just couldn't help it.
No, that was good. Okay.
That.
Yeah, so what I was postulating is that people get more specialized now than they've ever been in history, but they're not necessarily more intelligent or more wise. And that shows a lot in finances. Is when people talk about, I have an IRA, and I'll say, well, what is it in? And they've never even heard that question before. They'll say things like, well, I rolled my 401k into an IRA. And I say, well, what is it at risk? They don't even know if it's in mutual funds. They don't know if it's in annuities. This is mostly everybody. I'd say 80%.
Okay.
They don't know what it's in. And I get this a lot too. I have meet with a lot of people, and this has gone on especially in the last couple of years. They'll be with a broker who's lost like 40%, 25 to 40% of what they had in retirement, and then the broker will have taken the money out of risk because they told them to, and the broker says, yeah, we should put it in cash, and then the market recovered, but they didn't. They participated in all the downside
right.
and none of the upside, and they stay with their broker because and I can't figure that out, because I would think that, and we've never lost any money for any of our clients, but I would think that if we did, they would be leaving in droves.
By the way, I don't think a lot of people believe what you just said when you said we have never lost any money for our clients. It's a phenomenon. It's a whole philosophy that's different, but
right.
We haven't.
Well, we don't deal in risk,
money.
and we have. I've got this. I'm going to put this on our YouTube cast of this show. This graph is called annualized 5-year returns, and people say, well, I want to be at risk because I want to participate in the upside of the market. The problem with that is wouldn't you want to know what has done the best over the last, say, 15 years? Well, it's come out many times and in different in honest periodicals like Forbes and Wall Street Journal that fixed index accounts, fixed index annuities have outpaced every other form of investment, and they're not even investments. They're fixed accounts. They're not at risk. And here's what I'm going to put up on the. I'm going to put this up on our YouTube cast. It's just it's what they did. Here's what they did: is they took, and you could actually do this yourself, but I did all the homework for you. I took some of the best mutual funds that are touted by some of the best companies you can think of, and I graphed them out over the last 15 years. And I compared them to our fixed index annuity accounts, real accounts. And you can do it by 5-year period. I won't get into that. I'll post that on there. But out of the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different, now these are 5-year periods, so there's 7 5-year periods. The mutual funds did better 3 out of 8 times.
Okay, better than what?
Better than fixed index annuities.
Okay, 3 out of 8. All right.
But let's see, 3 out of 7. 3 out of 7. But 4 out of 7 times the fixed index annuities did better. Okay. So my question is, when I show people these types of stats, why don't people, some people obviously are really glad that they've been in this, and some people start to see the light. But some people, even though they've lost lots of money, I think because people get so specialized and so ingrained in their own work, they don't look at the risk that kills their retirement accounts. And that's what I've seen is, if you rolled a 401k into an IRA, you need to ask yourself the question, what is it in? Because an IRA is just the way that the IRS labels your account. It's got to be in a mutual fund, a stock, could be in an IRA CD, could be in an annuity, could be in a variable annuity. You need to have that looked at, and we can analyze that for you. That's why we do financial second opinions. We can show you how much secret charges are coming out. We could show you different ways to have less charges come out. Fees is what some people say, but we could show you these stats and how being at risk does not pay off unless you're lucky. And brokers, this is another graph.
I think luck is the only thing.
Yeah, right. This is the other graph I'm going to put on there that I promised.
I like that graph.
Yeah, it's basically huge, long stretches of 0% return for market-based items.
When you talk about luck, and we'll go on to another subject here soon, but In the Wall Street Journal article on this April 4, numbers you can't count on, it brings up what we've tracked a lot and we talked about in our workshops. Bill Miller famously piloted Legg Mason Capital Management Value Trust to returns that top those of the S&P 500 stock index for 15 straight years. Talk about lucky, through 2005. He was a good manager. Then several ill-timed wagers sent returns plummeting, and the fund lagged behind the S&P 500 in the following 3 years. So all the gains, all the drama, all the recovery, it all just collapses again, and we're looking for another collapse. We have overvalued market, we have bonds that are at risk these days, and you don't have to be in any of that. So,
yeah, the funny thing is mostly people are looking for say a 7 to 8% return. I usually say, what kind of return are you looking for on your money? A lot of people that don't have a clue will say 10% return, and the market just over the last 100 years has only done about a 3% return, but they've been told it's a 10% return. But what's funny is when people say, well, I want a 7 or 8% return, then I could retire, is you can get that without being at risk. You don't need to be at risk. So I'm going to stop talking about finance now.
That's good. And since it's Easter, I want to have this conversation.
It's Easter today?
Well, soon. It's soon. It's going to be this. Oh, and by the way, our little church that's starting, that's only 4 years old, will be down at the St. Augustine Center, the little downtown mezzanine. Where there's a gazebo at 6 o'clock, there will be a Good Friday service.
What is a mezzanine?
A mezzanine?
Mezzanine.
A gazebo.
A gazebo.
I meant gazebo. I always mean gazebo. Let's talk about the resurrection quickly, and I want to give you a couple of bullet points. Those of you that say, I don't want to believe in the resurrection, okay, that's okay. Let's talk about real logic now, and here's what the scripture says. Okay, Paul says, now if Christ is proclaimed that he rose from the dead, how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead? Now he's going to logic. Okay, fine. There's no resurrection of the dead. But if there be no resurrection of the dead, then Christ is not raised, and we're going to take this down a road of logic where you can pick whether you want to believe it or not, and you'll know where you stand on both when we get back.